Finance Committee meeting to order.
Thank you, dear.
The first item we have is assignment, request for council action. We have several for the Finance Committee, 25207, rollover outstanding advances, TIF fund, 25208, fund advance request, 25209, rollover advances, 25210, budget amendments, 25211, donation of furniture for the Muni Court, 25212, amend resolution 13125, CCA 2.0 grant for the court, 25213, grant application body worn cameras for the police. 25214, temporary easement, Medina County Sanitary Engineers. 25215, engineering design services, state road reconstruction, phase 3. 25216, notice of intent, West Liberty Street, Elmwood, West Washington water line. 25217, amend ordinance 10925, PO 2025, 1003, railroad repairs. 25218, donation of land, a permanent parcel 028 19B 08010, 410 Weymouth Road, 25219, 2026 blanket PO, Huntington National Bank, IT, 25220, 2026 blanket PO, Technology Engineering Group, IT, phones, 25221, 2026 blanket PO, Technology Engineering Group, IT. First item we have is 25206, Cell Tower Lease Amendment. Mr. Huber.
Thank you, Mr. President. This amends the cell tower lease on a big cell tower that's south of town. The summary of amendments essentially include the fact that the city is giving a little bit more ground to American Tower, permitting space on the tower for releasing the tower. We receive a $10,000 signing bonus. The rent increases from $1,422 per month to $2,200 per month. The amendment to the lease allows the rent to increase by 4% per year instead of 3% per year. And the city will receive 25% of the rent from any subtenants on this tower. And I guess those are the main highlights of this amendment. There's a couple lawyers in Northeast Ohio who negotiate these agreements with cell tower owners because it's kind of a specialized area. You need to know what is a good contract and what is not a good contract. We asked the Retzel and Anders firm and Todd Hunt to handle this because he does that kind of work with cell towers. Cell tower owner in this case is American Tower, and this amendment does accrue better benefit to the city of Medina, so I'm recommending it to the council.
Thank you. The only question I have, do we use this tower at all for like a repeater or police? Do we use it at all or no?
I don't think so.
We don't use their tower, but we do have equipment on our water tower.
Okay. Okay. Any questions?
Greg, were you able to check as far as whether they plan to go higher?
My understanding is that they don't, but I don't think there's any language in the contract to prevent that. If you want language, I'd have to ask that to be added. Frankly, it wouldn't be a bad thing to add.
Yeah, that'd be good to add.
Okay, yeah, I think that's where, just because we had that experience over at the soccer stadium and the
Right.
neighbors were a little surprised when it got a lot taller.
Right, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
That was my question.
So we're going to add that, I guess. If you could go back and add that provision that they're not allowed to go any taller than they currently have. Okay, any other questions?
Move to approve subject to the final review of the law director.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. 25207, rollover outstanding advances for the TIF fund. Keith?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the, well, if you notice, we're paying this down by $31,000 because it's $3,125,200, and then we're paying it down to $3,094,200. Do a little quick math. We're on pace to pay this off in 100 years. The reason that's so slow, the reason that's so slow is only the one parcel is developed. The main parcel to pay this off will be the one that's out here, which that hasn't happened yet. So we anticipate that once that happens, we'll be on a considerably faster pace to pay this off. So this is just an advance from the general fund. All of these advances, which I have a whole bunch of these coming through, the reason that council has to roll these each year is the auditors require that to show that council still intends to eventually pay this off, as opposed to it just going away.
Okay, questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25208, fund advance request. Keith,
These are more advances that we're rolling through.
questions?
Oh, and you may want to know, when we're done with all of this, the general fund will have a total of $11.6 million in advances out. We have the TIF, and then we have all the various different grants, and it cycles through, but that's what it's sitting at right now.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25209, rollover outstanding advances.
I don't want to read this whole page to you, but it's a whole bunch of different advances for various grants. If there's any questions about individual ones.
There's a lot of them.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25210, budget amendments of 2025-41. Keith?
The bulk of these are all the budget amendments to pay for these advances we just approved in the last two. As you know, we do not budget advances in advance because we don't budget grants in advance because we don't know when the federal government's going to shut down and stop doing grants. So we take that as when they come, we budget it, but we don't plan on it.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25211, a donation of furniture for the Muni Court. Cindy?
Thank you, Mr. President. We were contacted by Judge Lewis over at Wadsworth Muni, and she was asking about the jury table that we currently have over there, along with some metal desks and some filing cabinets that the Wadsworth Municipal could use. We're not planning on taking those items over to the new courthouse, and so we're just looking for council to approve us donating that to Wadsworth Municipal.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25212, amend resolution 13125 CCA grant for the Muni Court. Cindy?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Recently, the council approved the CCA2 grant, and we were notified by the state that they have increased that grant to $458,798. So it's about a $30,000 increase. So we're just looking to amend it to add that additional funds on there.
Okay, questions?
Emergency
Oh, and the
clause.
emergency clause is because they're waiting for the signature for the mayor to sign it so they can go ahead and release all those funds for us.
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25213, grant application body worn cameras for the police department. Lieutenant Wagner?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a request for approval and acceptance of funding for a grant that we've applied for or want to apply for through the OCJS. Specifically, we would use this money for our body-worn camera program and to pay for 2 years of CaseGuard. CaseGuard is our redaction software, so we can take camera footage from the officers, redact it, and share it with the public. This would pay for 2 years of that service.
Question?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25214, temporary easement for Medina County sanitary engineers. Patrick?
Thank you. Medina County is planning a project this winter to stabilize a section of the Champion Creek, specifically where erosion from the creek has impacted the sanitary sewer. This project will take place on city-owned property. It's the McKee property, where Champion Creek runs through it. So in order for them to complete the project, we would have to grant them a temporary easement.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25215, engineering design services, state road reconstruction, phase 3. Patrick?
I apologize up front. This is a typo on my fault. It's phase 1. We haven't had a phase yet, any projects on State Road yet. We have been awarded, we mentioned in the previous meeting, to date about $1.8 million in grants for this project. We are seeking additional grants to the tune of another $1 million, but we would like to get started with the design. We went through a qualification process as required by Ohio Revised Code and determined that American Structure Point is the most qualified consultant, so we're recommending that we award this design work to them.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25216, notice of intent, West Liberty, South Elmwood, and West Washington water line. Patrick?
Thank you. As you probably know, we just completed a project this summer to install new water line on Liberty, Elmwood, and West Washington, portions of them. We had been awarded a $510,000 interest-free loan from the Ohio Public Works Commission for that project. In order for us to get reimbursed that money, we need to adopt the attached resolution of intent, basically stating that we will pay it back.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25-217, amend ordinance 109, Medina Railroad repairs.
Yes, we were before council, or before finance committee earlier this year, about the excessive number of emergency rail line breaks we've been having. Since that time, we've had, I think, 9 additional ones. It's far and away the worst that we've ever seen in a given year. Typically, we get 4 or 5 breaks a year. This year, we're already up to 18 or 17. One of those was a brush removal project, but I don't know what to say. We just have to keep paying for these. Council did authorize us to apply for a grant to replace a portion of this line, so hopefully that comes through and we can get new rail, but in the meantime, we just have to keep maintaining it.
An emergency clause?
Emergency clause, because this work is already done. It's an emergency rail call out, so not to interrupt service.
Move to approve with emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25-218, donation of land, permanent parcel number 02819B08010, 4510 Weymouth Road. Jansen?
Thank you, Mr. President. The city was contacted by the property owner, Mark Taylor, to see if there was interest in his property a number of years ago, and we had an appraisal on at that time and didn't have the funds to acquire the land. It sat vacant for quite some time, and we were recently approached by Mr. Taylor to see if we would accept it as a donation. It does abut Huffman Cunningham Park and has a drive access onto Weymouth Road. We really have no intent to develop it or anything other than to just incorporate it into the existing parcel. So there were some discussions had. The only thing Mr. Taylor would like to see is a memorial bench installed in a prominent location next to the mountain bike trail that runs right adjacent to the property. And there's some language in the purchase agreement that if we ever did put a sign on that parcel, that we would also include the names of his parents on that sign. The estimated property value is $165,000. So asking for authorization for Mayor Hanwell to sign the donation agreement and any necessary closing documents on the property.
Questions?
Just a comment, we appreciate the donation and always look forward to anybody who might want to donate additional property to the city. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25-219, 2026 blanket PO for Huntington National Bank for the IT department. Sergeant Zaremba?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a 2026 blanket for Huntington blanket. We buy minor tools and equipment using this credit card online.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 25-2020, 2026 blanket PO Technology Engineering Group IT for the phones. Sergeant Zaremba?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for all of the city desk phones. This is same amount as last year through Intermedia, who provides our phone service to our desks.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And finally, 25-2021, 2026 blanket PO Technology Engineering Group for the IT. Sergeant Zaremba?
Thank you, Mr. President. Last year, Finance had asked me to do a more consolidated effort on all of the services that we purchase through Technology Engineering Group, and we did that. This is basically what we're doing for 2026 is the same thing. Most everything stayed the same price-wise. If it changed, it was based on numbers, like we changed number of users or number of computers. There are going to be 2 things that are added in here that we are in the process of migrating. Many of our users use Office products on their desk, and they're outdated. The version 2016, I believe it is, ends at the end of next month. So what we're doing is we did a cost-benefit analysis against PC replacements as well as buying perpetual licenses for Office, and it works out that over the long haul, it's a better decision to move people to O365, Office 365, for multiple reasons, one of which is it's continually supported, updated, all those good things, but it also gives everybody the latest software with Word, Excel, and Outlook. So These numbers on the bottom there for both the rec center and the city there reflect us migrating those that are expiring in the office packages, as well as their desktops are up for renewal, and we're moving to a smaller consolidated desktop that's about that big. So significant savings on the cost. Traditionally, you're looking at $1,000 for a desktop, and we're somewhere between $300 and $500 depending on what level we need.
Questions?
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything else that needs to come before finance meeting today? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.